Hello, my name is Berke Aydın. I attend the B1+05 class, and I'm going to be studying management engineering in the next 4 years. And also, I'm going to be talking about the CSNOT today. I have a few topics. They're like how and why it occurs, is it harmful, and what can the solutions be? So let's head towards the presentation. So what exactly is CSNOT? It is also known as marine mucilage and sea saliva, but the most common is sea snot. So I'm going to be using sea snot for the rest of the presentation. Well, it's a thick and sticky layer both on the surface and at the bottom of the seas and oceans. It's produced mostly uh, from bacteria, algae, and microorganisms, and there are several reasons for this to occur. What are those reasons? Well, first of all, it's a man-made disaster. It's definitely not natural. Uh, if you hadn't touched the nature, this kind of disease wouldn't have happened. What are those reasons? The rise in the sea temperatures for in like recent 40, 50 years, the seas being still, like containing less waves, and the household sewage and factory wastes. These kinds of wastes contain a lot of toxic elements like phosphorus and sulfur. And when these kind of elements mix into our seas and waters, they overfeed the microorganisms, and when they get overfed, they produce more sea snots. So we can find out like an equation. The more toxic elements mixed into our water, the more sea snot is produced. When does it emerge? Generally in spring and summer, because the temperatures of seas are relatively higher than winter and autumn. And according to the recent researches, the life of the sea snot can be up to 2 to 3 months, and this is a lot. Is it only in Turkey? Well, the answer is no. The humanity has been dealing with this problem for over 200 years, especially in Adriatic Sea. But in the recent 30 years, it increased its frequency. What are the examples? In Mexico Gulf in 2010, in a petrol exploration center, there had been a petrol leakage, and this ended in sea snot disease. And the biggest one occurred in Adriatic Sea. So as we can see from these examples, it is a global problem. From my own perspective, like many reasons, there are many reasons, but one stand out, and it is that factories being unrestrained in normal conditions and according to the laws, there should be filters being used by the factories, and they should send the wastes from the factories to the special centers for collecting industrial waste. In my opinion, the government was not conscious until it was too late. The act should have been before the disease happened. So what are the results, the pros and cons? Well, unfortunately, there isn't a single pro, but however, there are like numerous cons. There are like decrease in marine population and variation. And also it harms the fishing industry because like it kills the fish, like it is seen in the picture. And for the rest of the fish that are alive, we have like questions in our minds like, is it healthy to eat that kind of fish? That's a bad way. And also it makes a bad imagine in tourist eyes. I mean, like who would like to come to this country with this kind of view? And as I have experienced in person, it has a terrible smell. Incentives, well, I haven't seen any incentives because I guess this problem is too big for citizens to solve. It can only be solved with the opportunities of government. But the good thing is the government makes financial help to fishers from the smallest to the biggest. And also the government should instill consciousness of the importance of nature to the citizens. What are the individual precautions we can take? Well, there is a big responsibility on family and teachers because they are the only places and the people where we can learn and where we can learn from. Well, actually, main idea is not to pollute, so I can say a few topics under this one. One of them is recycling. Yeah, it's pretty basic, but yeah, I know you have to like set out a lot of effort, but it is definitely worth it. And also, to be honest, in our country, people prefer throwing their rubbish onto the ground instead of the bins. That also makes some pollution. And also, we should pour the household waste like cooking oil into a different jar, because one drop can easily like waste tons of water. And we should also spread the importance, like we should tell our friends the bad ways, the cons, and we can also debate what can we do to help solve the problem too. What is the government doing? Well, actually, they're vacuuming the sea snot from the surface with like drainage ships, as it's seen in the picture. But I think it's a temporary solution, because the real stuff is going under the water. It's like the thing we see on the surface is just the tip of the iceberg. To sum up, this is a global problem. This world is ours. So this problem interests every single person on this planet. And we should come together to help solve this problem, to provide a sustainable nature. Thanks for listening.